There's a story my grandma used to tell me, a ghost story to keep the kids from wandering too close to the old quarry. She'd say that deep beneath our town of Havenwood, there lies another, a mirror image, same houses, same streets, same people. But wrong. She'd lower her voice to a whisper, her eyes wide, and say the people down there, our reflections, they weren't quite right. Their smiles were too wide, their movements too jerky, their eyes holding a chilling emptiness. We all just thought it was a silly old tale. Until last Tuesday. It all started with the tremors. Not earthquakes, nothing that violent. Just a subtle, persistent humming that seemed to vibrate up from the soles of your feet. It was unsettling, like the town itself was holding its breath. Then came the disappearances. It began with small things. Mrs. Gable's prize-winning cat, a kid's bicycle left by the park fence. But then, people started vanishing. First, old Mr. Abernathy, who never missed his morning walk. Then, a whole family, the Millers, gone overnight. The police were baffled, no signs of a struggle, no ransom notes. It was as if they had just ceased to exist. Panic began to set in. A town-wide curfew was imposed, people locked their doors, peeking out from behind drawn curtains. The humming grew louder, a constant, low thrum that burrowed into your skull. That's when I started noticing the inconsistencies. A neighbor's car, a blue sedan, was suddenly red. The town clock, which had been broken for years, started ticking again, but backward. These were small details, things you might dismiss as faulty memory. But they were happening all over. It felt like our reality was fraying at the edges. I couldn't shake my grandma's story. The quarry she'd warned us about was on the edge of town, long abandoned. Driven by a mix of fear and a desperate need for answers, I broke the curfew and went there. The air was thick and heavy, and the humming was so intense here it made my teeth ache. In the center of the quarry pit, where there should have been nothing but rock and rubble, was a fissure. It wasn't natural. The edges were too clean, too straight. A faint, eerie light pulsed from within. Gathering every ounce of courage I had, I found an old service ladder and began to descend. The fissure opened into a massive cavern, and what I saw stole the breath from my lungs. Below me, suspended in a strange, shimmering void, was a town. My town. Havenwood. I could see the library, the post office, my own house. It was a perfect upside-down reflection. This was it. The mirror town from the stories. As I watched, I saw them. The people. They moved through the streets below, jerky and unnatural, just as my grandma had described. Their faces were blank, their smiles fixed and unsettling. I saw a figure that looked exactly like Mr. Abernathy, shuffling along the sidewalk with a vacant stare. I saw the Miller family, standing stock-still in their front yard, their heads tilted at an impossible angle. They were copies, distorted echoes of the people I knew. But then I saw something that made my blood run cold. I saw me, a reflection of myself, standing on my own porch, looking up towards the fissure. But it wasn't just a reflection. This other me, it was scared. Its face was filled with a genuine terror that I recognized in myself, and as I watched, it mouthed a single word. A word I couldn't hear but understood perfectly. Help! That's when the horrifying realization crashed over me. The humming wasn't coming from below, it was coming from above, from my Havenwood, the jerky, wrong movements of the people below. They weren't wrong at all. They were the natural glitches of a failing projection, the inconsistencies in my town, the disappearances. It wasn't our reality that was fraying. It was being rewritten. My grandma had the story backward. We weren't the originals. We were the copies. The town below, the one I thought was a twisted reflection, was the real Havenwood. We on the surface were the echo, the projection. And our program was failing. The disappearances weren't people being taken. It was our simulation deleting corrupted files, people who were becoming too aware of the glitches, the tremors, the humming. That was the sound of the system crashing. I'm recording this from inside the old maintenance shed at the quarry. I don't know how much time I have left. The figure of me down below is gone. Its house is dark, I think their world is shutting down. And if the original goes, what happens to the copy? I can hear footsteps outside the shed now, not the shuffling of a broken program, but the firm, measured steps of something that knows exactly where I am. They're not jerky or wrong. They're perfect. They're coming to fix the last glitch. They're coming to delete me. I don't know if this message will ever get out, but if you're listening to this, maybe it means a part of me, a part of our copied world, somehow survived. Maybe an echo can learn to scream.